18.8% of public schools in the United States require school uniforms. When I was in school, I was a part of a school that did not require school uniforms. And one of the first things I thought about after my day was done is what I was going to wear for the next day. So I drive myself home and I start going through my closet. I'm picking through it. I'm throwing one thing after another onto the bed. Eventually I'd have a whole pile of clothes on my bed, and I'd take those and I'd throw them into my trunk of my car and go about my day. The next morning I'd wake up super early and I'd get into my car with a trunk full of clothes and I'd drive myself straight to my best friend Kenzie's house. And when I got to Kenzie's house, I'd grab all the clothes from my trunk and I'd bring them into her house. I'd rustle them down the stairs and plop them straight onto her bed. Me and Kenzie would start going through each of our clothes, and all we were simply trying to do was pick out our outfit for the day. Now, as fun as it was also a huge burden on us. I remember every single time I'd pick out my outfit for the day, I felt like I was making a life or death decision. Now that's silly, because of course it wasn't a life or death decision, but it felt like one. The idea of not being accepted based off of what I was wearing or my clothing was a huge deal. Clothing affects a lot of things in school. School uniforms should be implemented and required in all public schools. By requiring school uniforms, we can reduce bullying, limit distractions, as well as prepare students for a more professional future. One simple change can make a student's life better. By requiring school uniforms, it can decrease bullying. Whether it's the economic status that your clothing represents, the brands maybe that you wear, or just a simple style that's not out of character that maybe one person wears and maybe is not socially acceptable or in the norm, and someone's getting picked on based off of that. A study done said, based off of 300 college students, over half of them visibly saw discrimination, bullying, and being picked on based off of clothing alone. I want you to think back when you were in school and remember a time where you saw someone being picked on based off of maybe their shoes or what they chose to wear. Or maybe it was something as simple as you hearing someone, maybe your friend saying, "Hey, did you see so-and-so's outfit today? That looks so ridiculous." It's far more common than maybe people realize, and it's a huge factor in school. According to the National Association of Elementary Principals, when school uniforms were implemented, they saw a decrease by 70% of bullying. That's a huge number. By requiring school uniforms, you eliminate competition based off of clothing. You level the playing field and make students secure in what they're wearing because everyone's wearing the same thing. One simple change can reduce bullying among students. Besides bullying, clothing affects distractions that students face. By requiring school uniforms, students' distractions are limited. I want to go back to when I would get ready with Kenzie. Think about the time that I spent going through my closet, the time that I spent driving over to her house, and the time we simply spent just picking out our outfits. That's a lot of time, and maybe not everyone experienced that, but time is still a factor in everyone's decision of what they wear. Now, besides just the time that it takes to pick out an outfit, think about after I was done. After I got to school and I was sitting at my desk. When I'd be sitting at my desk, maybe I get distracted because I was sitting there and the button on my jeans is bothering me. Or the collar of my shirt is just super itchy and that's all I can think about. And I'm trying to make it more comfortable because maybe I picked out a super cute outfit, but it was super distracting for me. And next thing you know, 10 minutes go by. I have no idea what the teacher is talking about. I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning right now. And sure, maybe there's other distractions. Like maybe you're distracted by the squirrel climbing up the tree or the bird tapping on the window. Or maybe it's the clock ticking or another student sneezing and coughing. There will always be distractions for students. But the distractions that we can limit, why wouldn't we? A study done in Ohio between 9th and 12th graders showed a correlation in 2005 of attendance and graduation rates rising after school uniforms were implemented. One simple change can limit students' distractions. Besides students' distractions, school uniforms would also affect the preparedness for a student's future. By requiring school uniforms, students can be more prepared for a professional future. Have you ever heard of Dress for Success? This is something I implement on my daily life. Whether I'm getting dressed for an interview or I'm getting dressed to meet someone for the first time, it is a huge factor in the person's first sight of you. A study done by Jackie Baker Paget showed that in conclusion, clothing is a critical component of someone's perception. And in her own words, she said, physical appearance is an important variable in the perceiver's judgment of an individual's character and abilities. Dress for success is what that is. It affects how people see you as well as how you see yourself. A school in the Bronx called Fordham Prep School had required a school uniform, and they went as far as to require a tie as well as dress shoes. They believed that implementing this rule would allow students to be more successful in the future. They're dressing for success. One simple change can prepare students for a more prepared professional future. By implementing school uniforms in all public schools, you can limit bullying, as well as decrease distractions, and also prepare students for a more professional future. I want you to focus on the next generation. Do what you can to allow others to see that school uniforms are necessary and they are helpful for a student to be more prepared for their future, as well as be successful in their academics currently. Imagine a student that gets to go to school and just focus on school. One simple change can make a student's life better.